It's showtime, folks. Welcome in, Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game on this Thursday. We're live in lovely Rockville, Tennessee, just outside of Murfreesboro at Champions Run Golf Course for a little golf tournament for the Blue Raiders of MTSU today. Their NIL collective. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. What's up?
What's happening, man? Yeah, it's called the Raiders Rising. You go to the website, RaidersRising.com, benefiting MTSU student athletes. All goes to the NIL collective. And this is kind of what a lot of schools can be doing now, have functions like this. You know, MTSU had the songwriter night about 2 months ago to raise money. So whatever you can do, man, to benefit the young men and women of your collegiate programs, and everybody's doing it. So we're honored to be part of this today with our relationship with MTSU, and our good friend Coach Derek Mason join us at 9:15. The Raiders have their spring game on Saturday, but it's more like we've talked about before, enjoyable 1-on-1 drills, 7-on-7 drills, things like that. So it's not actually a game, but it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, and I look, I think that's kind of where spring games are going. Vanderbilt has theirs coming up Saturday as well. Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. They have theirs coming up Saturday as well, which will air. So I mean, they're still doing these things, but they've evolved certainly over the years. But look forward to talking to Coach Mason from MTSU, and then Nick Vadiato going to join us as well.
Yeah, right.
You know what's cool? Like I was thinking about this on the drive here. It was a long drive here, so I had a lot of time.
Right.
It was terrible. But I was thinking about and I say this in a respectful way,
right.
But you look at somebody like Nick Vadiato and kind of where college athletics are, and the question is, what has motivated him to stay at MTSU? I think it's admirable. I love that he has, but he could have very easily done like so many other student athletes and transferred out. But he's stuck with this now in the second year with Derek Mason.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of last year was a rough season. He'd be the first to admit it, but you know what? That's what the portal is about now, is going out and getting new players and improving your team. And the our stream on my computer is stuck with you staring at me. So, God, it's really creepy. But no, I totally agree with that, because they have guys that have gone on. Like they had a receiver last year, Amari Kelly. Now he's at Michigan State playing. So it is the new world of college football, and so you go with what you got. But spring ball, look, when I played, our spring game was at 8:00 in the morning, and I hated spring practice. But had a coach said, and I'll talk to Coach Mason about this, is that guys, you really determine how much guys like football by spring practice, because there's no benefit. There's no game waiting for you. There's no playing the other opponent. You're hitting the same guy over and over again. So you really determine how much you like playing college football and being around these guys. You get that in spring. And so we'll be good to talk to the coach in a little bit.
So we're going to have Darby Hendrickson join us here in just a few minutes. We got a lot of guests today. It's very loaded. So, but he'll join us, Predators assistant coach, in just a few minutes. I doubt you watched this last night, but I went down a rabbit hole, and I was entertained, but I was also like, what am I watching? So Pat McAfee did a show last night called Pat McAfee's Big Night Out, but he says at like it has the Yinzer accent. He sold out PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Like literally sold it out. It was packed. They had over 12,000 people in that arena. And had all these, celebrities and stuff show up. Ben Roethlisberger showed up. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Chris Letang showed up. Paul Skeens was there. I mean, they were throwing a football through a ring and stuff. And so I bring it up because, like, it was awesome, but it was kind of like this show. There was no plan. Just kind of went with it.
I like that.
It was something to be able to see.
So is this something he does every city?
No, this was something new. This was a new concept. It was streamed on YouTube and Twitter.
So he could go to Kansas City and bring out Kelsey and Mahomes and whomever.
But
the Royals.
I looked on Twitter. He had over 100,000 people watching. Like,
good. He should. I mean, he's branded everywhere. He should have all that. Good for him.
What I think is cool, he's a punter, and he has just become this mega star.
Much more than that. And that, I mean, he's got personality and took it to the next level. So good for him.
The Predators are back in action tonight in Salt Lake City for the first time in their history, taking on the Utah Hockey Club. Let's bring in assistant coach Darby Hendrickson, who is on the line with us. And I got to start with this. How is Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake is great. By the way, good morning. How you guys doing?
Well, we're great. Thanks so much for doing this, Darby. We always enjoy our conversations with you. I mean, first trip out there for the Predators as Utah has joined the National Hockey League. I guess, is it a little bit of unexpected because you don't know what the crowd's going to be like?
Definitely. We haven't even been to the building yet. We flew in yesterday. Downtown, very nice. I mean, it's got kind of a Denver feel. You know, you have the mountains, and you know, I know the people here. You know, like Arizona, obviously disappointed they lose their team, but you can just sense and feel around the city here. We went out for dinner. People, hockey. You see that the Utah hockey signs around. There's definitely a buzz. It's their first year, but it's just time will tell with everything and how they get a new building or how they expand or the plans they have. But we're excited to be here, and Salt Lake is a neat city.
Is there, I've had players tell me
Welcome back into the Chase and Big Joe show here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. It's the reporter, Nick Keyser, here with you this morning, filling in for Chase and Big Joe while they get things figured out down that way, down yonder in Rockvale. We'll be back with them here shortly. But in the meantime, we got Nashville Predators assistant coach Darby Hendrickson on the line with us. Darby, sorry about the little gaffe there, man, but how you guys doing out there in Utah?
No, we're good. All good. Yeah, we got in here last night. Looking forward to playing here. Obviously, our first trip to Utah, but just Salt Lake, beautiful city. And, we know they'll play hard, and we're going to play hard tonight, too. So we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Darby, let's start things off here because I know that Andrew Burnett's going to be back with you guys, but more importantly as well, he's back and in good spirits. But what's it been like to be on the bench without him? I know that we've kind of caught up with Todd Richards over the last few days, and he's talked about how you guys have been in the same spot. But what's it been like coaching the last week or so?
Different. We want Bruno back. There's a part of that time when your head coach leaves. There's a part where you fill in. I mean, that's part of it. We all get it, but we love when he's there. He's got a lot of energy, and I know, on a personal level for him, he had to step away, and it's one of those things with a family situation with health that he had to be there, and we all respect that because we love his family. We miss him, but we do our best when he's gone, but we know we're better when he's there, and we're glad he's back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Glad that everything's okay. The Preds had a statement out this morning. So, yeah, definitely a positive development as you guys wrap up the season here out there in Utah and then come home for two more. But, Darby, I want to ask you more about Matthew Wood. Obviously, comes out of college and didn't advance in the NCAA Frozen Four because that kicks off later this evening, I believe. So, but what have been your first overall impressions of a guy like that? Big stature, lots of confidence on him, just playing in his game. But what have you made of him?
Yeah, exciting for his future. He's first off, just as a human being, really just a great kid. Secondly, I did watch their game when they lost because my son played on the same team with him in college this year in Minnesota.
Yes.
That's how old I'm getting. But I was able to watch quite a few of their games this year and watch Matthew, and he has a ton of talent. A lot of these kids come in, they're young, they're 20, they're excited. It's fresh for them, for the last part of this year, just for him to be around some guys like Steven Stamkos and Forsberg and, you name it. Pretty special for him, but he's a young guy that you can tell is hungry. I think that's the biggest thing you see behind the scenes. And he'll get a few games here to play, but it's just great hands, good talent, sees the ice really well. And I think the thing from our perspective as coaches, you don't want to give them too much info. I mean, we have systems of how we play, and certainly we want him to be on page with that, but you want him to play. You want him to not overthink it. You want his natural skill to come out. And I think in 2 games, you've seen little flashes of that happening. So it's been fun to be with him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a Nanaimo guy. He's the 5th guy from his hometown. I was chatting with him just the other day, and he's like, wow, I didn't even realize that. But yeah, he's come a long way, and was the first pick in 2023. Darby, I kind of want to change gears. I know it's more of a somber note here, but obviously we saw the news yesterday with Ray Shero, longtime NHL executive, guy that was in the game for a long time, even here in Nashville. Just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on how much he meant to the game, but more importantly, I know that over the course of his 3 decades doing a lot of work, made some blockbuster deals, had some exciting comments over the years as well. Just kind of wanted to get your gauge on what he meant to the NHL.
Yeah, and was fortunate to know Ray, and he was obviously. I came from Minnesota. He was an advisor there to Bill Guerin. So over the last couple of years, got to know him. And I think if you ask anyone, everyone loved Ray. Just an infectious personality, positively. Obviously, had a lot of success in the game, winning a cup with Pittsburgh, being a GM in New Jersey. Having his the early years with the Nashville Predators have an impact there. I walked into the airport yesterday and I saw Barry Trotz, and he asked me if I heard the news, and I said no. I know it's a very private matter with his health, but it's shocking because he's a person that you just want to see one more time, and I would probably echo so many people that even worked with him longer, knew him longer, but in the period of time I was with him in Minnesota, you love the guy, and it's very sad. He's only 62. Hockey lost a huge piece and a person that's had a huge impact, not only in the game with wins and losses, but on people. And just an awesome person, Ray, and he'll be missed.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a sad note there. But Darby, one last thought here for you, real quick, before we cut you loose before the action tonight at the Delta Center. Just what do you want to see from your team tonight? Not very many road games left, obviously, not very many games in general, but just give me your quick thoughts on how you guys want to approach a younger team this evening.
Number one, just effort. I think that's something, we have Andrew Burnett back with us. That's something he preaches every day, just our effort. That is something we can control. There's been different challenges throughout the year. For us, it's effort. I think for us last game, we had some, adversity. We were able to come back late in a game, tie it, win in overtime, so that offensive part for us is a huge part. Just offensive, playing free, being dialed in our system, but, play free, attack, go after them. I think those are kind of the keys that we'll have tonight. There's obviously going to be, certain pre-scout things on the opponent, but like those generals right there, work, compete, effort, and get to the net, attack. So that's the mindset we'll have coming in tonight.
Well, Darby, thank you so much for taking time before you guys play this evening against the Utah Hockey Club. Stay tuned for that here tonight. But Darby, best luck this evening, and we'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
All righty. Thank you. And Darby Hendrickson definitely had a lot to say there. We're talking about Ray Shero, the Preds as of late. But we're going to change gears and shift over to the gridiron with Derek Mason coming up here in just a moment. Chase and Big Joe are back down in Rockville, ready to rock. All right, fellas, we'll be back after the break here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Thursday. We're live in Rockville, Tennessee, Champions Run Golf Course. The Blue Raiders having a little golf tournament today to help with NIL, and we're excited to have Coach Derek Mason on with us. Coach, what's up?
What's going on, Chase, Big Joe? It's good to see you guys.
How's spring practice going?
Man, loving every bit of it. Second time around, it's been really good. It's been competitive. We're starting to hit stride a little bit as a football team. And when I say hit stride, just energy, guys understanding each other, guys understanding me, right?
Right.
When you have a veteran quarterback like Nick Vattiato, he sort of makes it easy. But I think what's happened is that standards, expectations, and really how we work. I haven't had to say a lot to this group about where we were and where we want to go. I did something for them, as we came back this year, and I said, hey, look, I showed them a picture of the Conference USA Championship. I showed them a trophy, the trophy picture, and I said, this will be the last time you see this until you get a chance to waste it.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is that, like, this group has worked that way. Don't know what lies in front of us, but we know every day we can win days and get better that way. And I think that's what this group has done. They've taken 13 practices so far and made the most of them. We got 2 more left, and then those guys know we don't get a chance to put on pads for a while. And I think that's sort of been what's sort of been different about this group, is that this group has taken every day of every practice to sort of move us forward. And I'm having fun with that, because when you see the competitiveness of what these guys have brought this spring, it's been just fun to watch. And I think on Saturday, when people get a chance to come to the showcase, they'll just get a small glimpse of where we're at.
We were talking before you came on that as we're here for NIL, event and all that in the transfer portal, it obviously has to change how you look at things, and your roster is going to change maybe more year to year than it would in previous years. So how important is it to have these spring practices, like you said, to get these new guys acclimated to how things work here at Middle Tennessee?
You know what? The landscape has been ever changing, right? Since last 24 months has been incredible in college football. When we talk about the transfer portal, when we talk about how recruiting looks, I think the things that have been different for us is that adjusting to the turnover, has to become like the new norm.
Yeah.
Okay, man, you're going to have graduates. You're going to have guys, man, that get opportunities because we're a developmental program, like Amari. Okay, I mean, you look at Amari and his opportunity. Man, we had a kicker a year ago who I thought was as good as anybody in the country, who lands at LSU of all places. Like, those are the new norms of college football. But what it gives you a chance to do with having NIL is to replace those guys, because guys want the opportunity to get that production. That production gives them an opportunity to earn or get noticed. And so for me, it's just been like, okay, how do we get better in this space? And I tell you what's been really cool, spending time with Rick Enzel, and Nick McDevitt. Okay, basketball's a totally different animal.
Yeah.
But I think we're sort of settling on, some processes that look the same for all of us in terms of ushering in new players, acquiring new talent, and making sure that the culture still stays what the culture needs to be in order for Middle Tennessee to be successful. And I think that's where we are now with the new landscape of college football for us.
Well said. We're with MTSUA football coach Derek Mason. I think, Coach, a good motivator for a lot of kids is in December when these teams they've played are all playing in bowl games, and you're sitting your butt at home and you're like, I don't like this. And to me, that would motivate me to another degree, because it all starts in the spring and carries over the summer to the fall.
Man, you got that right. And I can look at Parker Hughes, I can look at Nick Vattiato, I can look at DeMonte Smith, and those guys felt that.
Yeah,
they don't want to be a group whose legacy was they put up numbers.
Right.
Okay, not wins. Okay, and the ultimate prize is a championship, and we got to keep talking about it, because I think if you don't talk about it, at the end of the day, man, you'll never get there.
That's right.
Dream small, okay, man. Dream small, man. You wind up having, when small things happen to you. Dream big, big things happen to you. And so that's what we've been talking about. Our conversations in private are are about, what do we need to do to win the conference championship?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you can do that, well, then you put yourself in a lot of different places, right? I mean, what bowl game you're playing in, what playoff opportunity will you may get? Seasons go the way they go, but in the landscape of college football with the new CFP, and by the way, Chris Massaro being on the selection
there you
committee,
go, right?
which I think is
Get it?
which I think is pretty cool. Just having some insight into what can happen, like in the group of 5, you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to shoot our shot. And we're not going to leave anything on the table. Maybe we want to play hard, play physical, but more than anything else, we want to look towards December and be relevant. We want to look towards January and be relevant.
Yeah.
Because that's where relevance is nowadays.
It sure is. All right, so Chase and I talked about this a few weeks ago. That's why we're glad you're on today. Your good friend, Coach Gundy at Oklahoma State, suggested a spring game taken on Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Would you ever do that, a spring game, air quotes, where you take on Tennessee Chattanooga or Tennessee Tech if you're not playing them and they're not in your conference and everything like that? Your thoughts on that?
I'm all for it if we have spring ball. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like if we have spring ball, I think that makes sense. You see it in the NFL during the preseason.
Yeah.
And it's a model that I think what schools were talking about it. I think it was Syracuse and somebody was talking about doing it. Syracuse and Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about doing it this year.
Oh wow.
Actually, and I think it's something where if those two coaches and those teams, can agree on what the rules of engagement are.
Yeah.
I think it's smart. I think it gives you an opportunity to really gauge in the spring where your team is. I think where college football is going, just to be honest, spring games may be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
And here's what's happening. I think if you ask coaches, we much rather have the opportunity to have our team in the summer. I think we're going to move towards an OTA model at some point in time where really your team acquisition in the spring, is more important. The development, is more important. Building team culture is more important. Having your players in the summer for OTA-like practices sort of leads up to fall camp, which leads up to, you being able to lead into the season, and that makes more sense. I mean, I know some coaches have talked about it. I'm one that's for it because I believe that right now we've got spring ball and then the portal opens right up after spring ball. That's not necessarily conducive.
Right. Because your roster is going to continue
your
to
roster
change.
can change a little bit, right? So I think OTAs in the summer makes a lot more sense because at that point in time you have your football team.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what you're working with. And it does give you a chance to stay with your team, which you really don't get a chance to do in the summer.
So
Love it.
along those lines, let's say it kind of evolves into that.
Yeah.
We see the NFL do joint practices. Is
That's
that
right.
where you could see, like, if, you called Austin P or Vandy or whoever, that's close by, you're not having to travel, you're not having to work, but it's like, hey, we want to hit somebody other than ourselves.
Yeah.
You don't touch the quarterback, all that stuff. You can establish that. Could you see that being something? Because that's similar to like a training camp that we see in the NFL.
Yeah, like absolutely. I think, again, coaches have to get together to talk about what the rules of engagement are. I think, it winds up being thud or whiz, for the most part. And then you can get into a goal line period or a red zone period where there's, live contact. Because I think what you don't want to do is put your players in harm's way.
Sure.
What you're trying to do is gauge where you're at, versus another team, right? And I think there's ways to do it. We do it now without hurting ourselves. And I think that's a model that a lot of coaches are using and something that we can get to against competition that makes a lot of sense.
So take us to Saturday. What we're going to see Saturday when you guys at 2:00, right?
Yeah, like 2:00. We're going to have a showcase, and it's going to be a situational showcase where you get a chance to see some backed up, 2-minute red zone, alumni zone, just situational ball. And the thing that I do like about it, everybody loves a spring game. I like a spring game. But the things that get hard about spring games sometimes are scoring, right? how do you score a spring game to make it where, fans understand it and can actually enjoy it? Well, with the showcase, it's not about scoring. It's going to be offense versus defense. And the good thing about that is in those situations, there are situations that from our young quarterbacks to, our newly revamped offensive line, defensive line, those guys need to be in those situations, right? And you want to do it in front of a crowd. and it's going to be competitive. We're going to start this thing off getting right after it. And then what we're going to have is next level football, which is, Little League flag football is going to be intermixed.
Yeah.
Okay. Like in there, we're going to have fastest kid alive, which I think is outstanding. We're going to have a punt competition that looks a little bit like Pong, where there's 6 trash cans and they're gonna attempt 7 kicks into these trash cans like for a winner. And then what we're gonna have is an accuracy contest like for next level throwing into the net. So I think those 5-minute breaks, we're gonna have 3 5-minute breaks in between a lot of situational ball that I think will be entertaining for our fan base.
I like that. I mean, that's fun. You get people there. You're not
Yeah.
watching, the 11 on 11, all that. And it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. And we get after it. We're going to do pregame, but once we're stretched, once we're going, we're going. We're not going to take, an hour to get into it. Okay, man, we're going to hit it, get it, let's go, and let's have some fun.
We're going to have Nick Vattiato on here in a few minutes and talk to him. But, as we talk about the landscape of college football, obviously he's had opportunities. I'm sure if he wanted to go somewhere else, he could. He hasn't. He has stuck with this program, stuck with you now in year 2.
Right.
What kind of message does that send to the rest of the team to see a guy that can step into that and be like, hey, I'm here. I'm a Blue Raider.
Well, I thought Nick staying here, it meant a lot to this program, meant a lot to me, but I think Nick felt like he had unfinished business.
Yeah.
Right. I think since he's been here, everybody's talked about the talent, but now what we want is the winning.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the legacy he wants to leave here. As we step into a new facility with a lot of new things around it, I think the bow on it for him is being able to lead us into this new era of Blue Raider football. Not only that, and as I've looked at Nick, right, I saw on Nick in Nick and Roman's Empire, they had a candid conversation, and that everybody gets a chance to see with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And I think Cam talked to him about some of the things, and you don't see the whole interview, man, but I thought Cam hit him with some nuggets about like the ball.
Yeah.
And how to keep it pure. And understanding it's not where you do it, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so real nowadays because everybody thinks that like there's this utopia out here that you're searching for. The reality is, where can you be your best? I think Nick feels he can be his best here, where he's got a coach, man, who backs him. He feels like his offensive coordinator and the offensive line are poised to go do things that he wants to do. And I think bigger than that, man, he's got a love for being a Blue Raider.
I love that.
Nowadays, man, that's so hard to find. He could have took a lot of money to go a lot of other places, right?
Sure.
And felt comfortable in just, understanding, man, that this place fits him. So that's cool.
That's really good. Coach, before we let you go real quick, I know you coach a long time. You coach a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You coach with Titans OC Nick Holtz. How you with Stanford together.
Yeah.
What do you remember about him?
Man, Nick is smart, extremely intelligent. It's sort of crazy when I look at that Titan staff from Billy Callahan. I mean, I just look. I mean, Tracy Rocker. I mean, I'm looking back. I'm looking back, and I'm like, hey, man, it's like a family reunion.
Yeah.
But Holtz is smart, extremely smart. I think he fits what they're trying to do and where they're looking to go. And I think with that, the Titans this year is going to be different for the Titans, right, man? Because I think last year people didn't know. This year people are going to have some expectations, but I think what they're going to do is in the draft, but also with just understanding where they are, they're going to surprise some folks. They are. They're going to be good up front on the offensive line, and that's hard to do. But Billy Callahan's going to make that thing work.
Yeah,
he always does. And then when you talk about defensively, there's some pieces away, but in that league, talent's everywhere. And I think Nick's got a strong imagination. He understands how to build it. So like, watch out this year. Watch out for Nick and watch what he does.
Love it.
Great communicator.
Yeah. And there's always a connection in football.
Always.
I mean, always. Coach, good to see you. Thanks so much for doing this, and enjoy the spring game. Enjoy some golf today.
Look, man, it's so beautiful out here. I mean, everybody told me today was going to be bad, and you know what?
Look at this.
Come on now. You know what it is?
Right.
You know what it is? That's the man upstairs telling everybody's got a job, go to your job, and everybody
Yeah.
else who wants to come play.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
So let's
Coach,
enjoy ourselves.
good to see you. We'll talk again soon.
Take care. Let's go Blue.
Appreciate you, Coach.
You got it.
Coach Derek Mason joining us here on the program, live in Rockville, Tennessee. Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Thursday out at Rockville, Tennessee, having some fun on the golf course. Caller number 3 right now, 615-737-1025 will win a pair of tickets to see Jay Leno in Arsenio Hall at the Ryman Auditorium coming up on Saturday. All you got to do, be caller number 3. You can go see Jay Leno in Arsenio Hall. Should be a great show coming up this Saturday at the Ryman. Good luck with that. We continue the conversation with MTSU quarterback Nick Vattiato, who is here with us. Nick, what's up? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're fantastic. It's a beautiful day for golf.
Great day.
How's
Great
your golf game?
It's there.
It's there. Yeah.
It's something.
a
It's okay.
little better at quarterback than golf.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I hope so.
We were just talking to Coach Mason. How's spring practice been for you?
It's been fun. I think just a lot of new faces. So I think kind of getting those guys up to speed and building some new chemistry with the receivers, with some tight ends, and then got a lot of new O-line and guys on the O-line in front of me. So it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Defense has given us a lot of competition throughout spring ball. So it's been a ton of fun. And I mean, it's just kind of, we're getting better, which is all that matters right now.
We talked to him about this landscape of college football, college athletics. I mean, you guys as players have a lot more flexibility than you used to. You can transfer out if you want to. There's NIL, there's all these things, but you've stayed committed to MTSU. You went through a coaching change, went through last year, now second year of Coach Mason. Why is this program so important to you, and why do you want to see this through?
I think first when I came here, Coach Stock gave me the opportunity to come, see out my dream of playing college football. And then I think, when Coach Mason came in, I've been bought into what he's kind of brought to this program and where he wants to take it since day one. And, especially I think going to my last year, like it was important for me to, kind of finish out what I've started. And I think that, we have a lot of new faces coming in, and I could be a really important leader for this team and kind of show guys and bring guys along with me. And I think this program is on the up. I think Coach Mason's doing a lot of good things. I think the athletic department's behind us. So I think that, there's a lot of good coming, and I think we just have to put in that effort and that work. And that's something that I want to do here at MTSU. And, it means a lot to me, coming here as a freshman and being able to see out all my entire career here. Like, it's not really as common anymore. Like you said, a lot of guys transferring and whatnot, but I think it's really cool that I get to do it at one place. So I'm excited about it.
MTSU quarterback Nick Vattiato is with us. Chase and I are big fans of yours because you gotten the hell beat out of you the last 2 years, but you get back up. I mean, you've taken some shots, Nick. I'm like, oh, he's dead. Well, it's over with that. But that's all part of playing football, right? I mean, that's why we love the game, right?
It is. Yeah. It makes you feel alive sometimes. There's probably one a game that really hurts in the moment.
Right.
The rest of them you kind of feel after the game. But, during the game, it sucks. After a while, it sucks. But it kind of makes you feel alive sometimes, especially if you get, you complete a nice ball and then you take a shot. Like it makes it, it's nice when you get back up knowing that the ball got completed down the field or it was a touchdown or something. But, yeah, I mean, it's a part of the game.
Yeah, I remember you took a shot against Alabama. You took one last year against Ole Miss, and I thought it was over, but you popped back up. But I mean, it's just, again, that's why we love the game of football. So with all that being said, now into your senior year, I mean, this is it. This is the last rodeo. How important is it to corral everybody together and at least have a winning season, get to a bowl?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's the last go around, and I think a lot of new faces. Even up front with the O-line, I think those guys have done a really good job kind of just gelling together throughout the course of spring ball. I think they're playing at a really high level right now, and then, we have a lot of good competition on the defense who are making those guys better. But I think, like you said, it's, just trying to rally everyone around, get everyone on the same page, a lot of new faces. So it's like weird. It's kind of like last year we had a entirely new team from 23, and then this year we're going to have an entirely new team from 24. So I think it's just like, getting everyone on the same page, me along with a few other guys like Brandon Buckner and Miles Butler being leaders for everyone on this team and kind of getting everyone going in the same direction is going to be important. But I think, spring ball's been great. Everyone's getting better. So I'm really excited about it.
What's it like seeing guys you play with after the 23 teams? There's some guys with the Georgia Tech and Tennessee and Michigan State.
Yeah.
And I know you're all buddies. What's it like seeing them go on to that next level and having that success? They were your teammates and your buddies.
It's amazing. I mean, Jacoby Thomas, who's at Tennessee, we were freshman year. We were roommates together, me, him, and Parker and TK. We were all roommates freshman year. So to see him go on at Tennessee and do everything he's done is amazing. To see Keelan go on at Georgia Tech and be like all ACC freaking every offensive line honor you can probably get and be just an absolute dog is just awesome to see. And now that, Amari's gone on to Michigan State, I wish him nothing but the best. We were on the phone, like a week ago, just chopping it up, because that's, he was a teammate, but, that's my brother too. So still wish him the best. And I know he's going to do his thing, but it's awesome, to see those guys have on and just continue to do great things is awesome.
It's funny. So when we were on campus a few months ago, seeing all the construction, it kind of reminded me when I was at middle of I got to watch the Student Union Center get built, and then I got it for a semester.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
These new facilities, you're not going to get to see it that long,
right?
But how cool is it to kind of pass that on to the next generation that they're going to have such a cool facility to work out in and to be in, moving forward, because that's going to help bring, guys to this program.
It definitely will. I think it's super cool. I'll get to experience it for a season, which I think is awesome. And then, our younger, guys like Roman and Jakail, Middlebrook, who are younger guys, but they'll get to have it for a little longer. And then, even the guys who come in after them, like our freshman quarterback, Stanley Anderson, and, it's just guys who continue to come in after that. I think it's going to be a big thing for us, and it'll be awesome. All those the new facilities and what it's going to do for us as a program. I think it's going to be great.
All right, so tell Chase and I about this Cam Newton interview, because evidently I saw it. It's wonderful. How this come about, and what you think about Cam Newton, I don't care. He's a good dude.
He was awesome,
and he gave you guys some great advice.
He was awesome. I met Cam back when I was in middle school, down at his quarterback thing he used to do at IMG, and you hear a lot of things about Cam Newton, a big personality. Talking to him was awesome. He was a great dude, gave us a lot of good pointers, a lot of good advice, and he was just true to himself. And that was a big thing that he talked about, was just be true to yourself. And how it came about really was our head equipment guy, GM, guy who does a lot, Dana Marquez. He was at Auburn with him. He kind of set us up. He got the connection. And then Cam's also Roman's childhood hero, childhood idol. So Roman was on cloud 9 that entire time. But just talking to Cam and everything he had to give to us was awesome. And that was how many guys get to experience that, one-on-one with Cam Newton for 30 minutes to an hour. That was really awesome getting to talk to him.
Yeah. What's one thing that stuck in your mind that he told you? Because he dropped a lot of nuggets for you guys.
Yeah. I think when he talked about building your brand and kind of being who you are as a player, it's whoever you are as a person, that's who you need to be, when it comes to being a player and building your brand. And that's how you get to be, along with the hard work and the effort and the work ethic, being true to yourself is what'll take you to that next level, and kind of always, that'll keep it who you are. Whoever you are as a person, be that as a player and help that build your brand. I think that was really good to hear from him.
Well, Nick, I know you got to go there. I think they're getting things started here, but good luck today, and good luck with spring ball, and we'll see you again soon. We always enjoy the conversations with you.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, Austin P, baby. That's the game one.
Can't wait. Week 1. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
It'll be here before you know it.
Oh, the fact spring ball's already almost done is crazy.
I know.
So it'll be here.
For sure. Nick Vattiato, quarterback for the Blue Raiders of MTSU, joining us here on the program. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thanks, Nick.
I know we got a few minutes to kind of wrap things up here in the first hour. Yeah, appreciate it. But again, it gets me excited that we still got to get through summer, but the fall just not that far away, and that they'll be hitting the field again against Austin P.
I think we appreciate college football so much because it goes by so fast. It really is September, October, November, and then, of course, the bowls in December and all that. But we spend a lot of time in the off season getting ready and talking about it and everything else. And with the new faces, he talked about the guys that have been here and have gone on to the next level and having great success. So it's just fun, man. It's fun watching everything, seeing everything, how it comes together. And God, I love football.
I know. So do I. I think what was interesting, what Coach Mason said about kind of spring games essentially kind of going away, going in more an OTA model, and I think you're going to see that. I mean, joint practices, stuff like that. I mean, I think that could definitely be on the horizon.
Well, you talk about the spring game ends and the portal opens, so the guys you go through spring ball with, they're leaving, go someplace else. So get rid of the spring game, have those OTAs, get them on campus, because I don't think you can do work. I think the strength coach is the only person that can really do anything with the players during the summer till they report to camp. So they do something like that. It would be wonderful to have these guys in there. So there's a lot of changes coming.
That is why Floyd told me a long time ago, and I've heard you say it too. The strength coach is the most important person on your staff because
No doubt.
they have all the contact with the players pretty much at any time.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is then the coach can talk to the strength coach, but the strength coach, at least the one when I played at Sanford, our strength coach was a guy you could go to and talk about things you wouldn't go to the head coach and talk with.
Right.
And, you felt like he cared about you,
That
and that's
conduit.
at any program. Yeah, Walt at Eastern Kentucky's like getting a strength coach was just as important as my OC and my DC because that's a guy dealing with the guys in the locker room, in the weight room, and they're going to tell him things they're not telling me. So that guy's got to be just as important as anybody else. Saban had that guy for years, and I forget his name.
Scott Cochran.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yep.
And
I need you lower.
He went to Georgia. He's had a few problems along the way. I hope he's doing well, but it's vital, man.
Yeah, 100%. Well, again, we're at Champions Run here in Rockvale today. MTSU. Good to see Coach Mason, Nick Vattiato, everybody out here. Who's coming up next, JoJo?
Well, our good friend Jeff Murphy is the former MTSU quarterback heading up the Raiders Rising. Go to the website, RaidersRising.com. He also owns the best Italian. Sorry, Nick, but I didn't take you, Nick, to the Domenico's and down on the square at Murfreesboro. You want to go one day?
Sure.
All right. I'm telling you, man, you love Italian food. I'm telling you, it's the best Reuben around. It's the sandwiches is good. But anyway, Jeff's going to join us next and talk about what the Raiders Rising, the collective, and benefiting men and women, student athletes at MTSU.
Absolutely. We look forward to that. Right now, text in the keyword music, MUSIC. Very simple to 615-737-1025 for your chance to win a pair of all-inclusive Eurostone Club tickets to see Lainey Wilson at Bridgestone Arena on Thursday, October 2nd. Distilled by Green River Whiskey, sit back, relax, and bourbon. Green River Distilling Company, Owensboro, Kentucky. Alcohol volume varies by product. Please drink responsibly. Good luck. Text that in now. More coming in hour number 2. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Thursday. We're live at Champions Run Golf Course here in Rockville, Tennessee. Blue Raiders out here. Good to see everybody having a golf tournament, benefiting NIL, and that's what these schools have to do nowadays. Before we get to our next guest, I do want to read a statement. Predators head coach Andrew Brunette is back with the team in Utah, and we had Darby Hendrickson on earlier. Appreciate Nick Keyser for stepping in and finishing that. We had some technical issues, but the Predators have posted a statement from Andrew Brunette that says, quote, "My father experienced an event that required urgent medical attention back home in Ontario, which is the reason why I was away from the team for the past few days. I'm happy to be back with our group beginning today in Utah. I'd like to thank our ownership and Barry Trotz for allowing me to spend time with my family and thank our entire coaching staff for their help in guiding our team in my absence. My family and I sincerely appreciate the support from everyone in our organization, our players, and our fans," end quote. So glad to see Andrew Brunette back with the team. Hope everything's okay with his father, but wanted to pass that along as they get ready to take on Utah later on tonight. Let's say hello to Jeff Murphy, who is here with us, former Blue Raiders quarterback, enjoying kind of sitting here chatting about things in the past, but I know you're excited to be able to continue to help this program.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys coming out, covering the event. And yeah, it's been something, we started this collective a year ago.
Raiders Rising.
Raiders Rising. Me and other 3 other board members. We're all MTSU graduates, and in this day and age of college athletics, NIL is part of it, whether you like it or not. And the further MTSU did not have a collective, the further behind we would get. So we kind of anteed up and got it going, and really making a push this year of trying to get people together, get this community back together, hanging out, having a good time, supporting each other, because that's what this program needs. We collectively need to get together and get behind it, and get behind the coaches and the admin and the university. And we all want it to go in a certain direction. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's get in and let's do it together.
As a former college athlete and quarterback, seeing the players being able to capitalize on this now, I mean, how does that make you feel?
I think it's great. I think it's been a long time coming. But as much money has been in college athletics, to not allow the athletes to make money off of their name, image, and likeness, I think it was, I think it wasn't right. So, I'm not frustrated or angry about it. It was going to come eventually. Now we just need some regulations and some things in place, and hopefully, the NCAA is going to get together and make that happen. But I think it's great. It can further build the community that we need, allowing the athletes, to go work with a business or an organization, and they should be compensated for that. People are coming to see them play on the field. You know what I mean? It's the guys with the jerseys on and their numbers is why people are buying tickets. So I think it's great for the game. I think there just needs to be regulations around it that protects everybody, the university, the players, everybody involved.
Was it something that because I think we're around the same age, we're at middle at the same time, and I wasn't an athlete, but I didn't think about it as much. I'd play all the video games and be like, oh yeah, that kind of looks like the quarterback, stuff like that. But was it something you really thought about when you were an athlete, or was it kind of like me later on? You're like, you know what? This is kind of like there needs to be more to this. The athletes deserve their piece of the pie too.
No, I never really thought about it when I was playing. I was just excited to be in the video game by EA Sports, right? And then a few years after I graduated,
quarterback
I got this,
number, whatever.
Yeah, this letter in the mail, and there was a lawsuit against it, and we all got a couple $1,000, and I thought it was awesome, just to get paid to be in the video game. But if you think about how much money was being made off of student athletes, in that sector and just and everywhere, for them to not have the opportunity to make money off of their name, image, and likeness, I think was wrong. So glad it's here. And no, it's not something I really thought about. But after, the afterthought was like, you know what? It does make sense for them to have at least the opportunity to.
Sure.
Because not all of them are doing it yet. And that's part of the reason why we started is to try and get engaged and connect some dots in the community.
We're talking to Jeff Murphy, former MTSU Blue Raider quarterback. Got the Raider Rising. Is it RaiderRising.com?
RaidersRising.com.
RaidersRising.com. What do you need now from alumni and fans of MTSU?
We just need them to support. The kids, the athletes want to go and play in front of packed arenas, packed stadiums, and the best thing you can do is go to the game, number one. Number two, if you want to get involved with, if your heart's desire and you want to support MTSU athletics and you care about the facilities and those type of things, BRAA and the Bill Blue campaign, that's the way to go. If you want your money to specifically go to student athletes, that's where we fall in. That's where you can have a direct impact to the student athlete, either or specific program, athletic program, specific player. We are a separate entity of the university, but we work hand in hand with them. But we can put your money, if you're, heart's desires to go to Nick Vadiato, like we can directly do that. So we can work that out. And if you're a business and you want to, have somebody to come do a commercial or set up at your shop and promote your shop, like we can work out a deal where we can do that. We can get the players there and organize that and help grow your business.
I love it. RaidersRising.com is the website for all that. You talk about, promoting these guys. Let's make it clear. These are male and female, right? And this is not just one guy down the road here.
No, it's all athletes across the board. We started a year ago, so we're really getting things going. And we've done stuff with men's basketball, or women's basketball, the football team. So we're kind of starting there and then trying to work our way down. Right. But we've had people that want to do something with the softball team or the soccer team. Like, no problem. We can earmark those funds or that specific deal, that promotion for that athlete or for that team, and we can organize it and get it going. So it's whatever. That's the thing that's great about the collectives is if you wanted to specifically do something, we can make it happen.
You're part of the very popular, at least I think it's a very popular Group of 5 Guys, right? .com. Yeah. What's that website?
Group of5guys.com.
Yeah, and you just go around and look at programs like Middle and Tulane and things like that. What's one program out there you would like MTSU to emulate? Because you guys do a great job. You talk football, and I love it. Is there one program you want to emulate?
Well, I think when you talk about in the Group of 5, the Blue Bloods is Boise State, right? Yeah. I mean, Boise State has done it so well for a long time. And what you've seen is if you go back 20 years, and where not only the University of Boise State has been, where they've gotten to, but the city was and where it is now.
Yeah,
they go hand in hand. When the university grows, the town grows. When kids want to come to school there, everything goes up. Sales for businesses, all the connections that we have. So, like, to me, they are where MTSU wants to be, wants to get to. And we have all the pieces here. I mean, you have one of the fastest growing counties in the country in Rutherford County. You have Murfreesboro, which is a great, phenomenal city, which I have a business in. I chose to spend the rest of my life here. Like, I love Murfreesboro in the greater Nashville, Middle Tennessee area. You have so many alumni, so many graduates that came from MTSU that work in this community, that live in this community.
2 right here, baby.
No doubt, right? So we gotta get everybody back, connect the dots, and there's a major goal of where we want to get to, and everybody's got to play their role in it. And if we all get together and drive the car that way, we'll get to where we want to be. But we got to roll our sleeves up and get to work.
We're talking to Jeff Murphy here on the program. How can people help?
You can get connected with us at RaidersRising.com. You can become a member. There's 3 different membership tiers that if you give so much that you get behind the scenes access to players and coaches and some events, more events we'll have going on throughout the year. But the best thing you do, if you have any questions, just reach out to us. Reach out to us through the website. I'll get back in touch with you. You'll have a cup of coffee. I can answer any questions that I can, or we can go have a sandwich at Domenico's.
There we go.
I
do like what you said, though. You said the first thing you always told me this. You said it on our show today. Go to the games.
Yeah. You go to the games. Go to the games, and I promise you can make a direct impact on the game, whether it's baseball, softball, soccer, basketball, football. Like, I've been to so many football specific now, but so many games in the last 4 years of doing the podcast that you can feel and see momentum swings when you're in Boone, North Carolina, and App State's playing North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, the fans can have an impact, and it doesn't have to be money. Time, you can buy a ticket for $25, $35.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, go to the game, spend a little time, come to our events or come to the BRAA events, meet the coaches, meet the players. Cause that's really, these kids are incredible. They all have great stories. They all come from different backgrounds. And I guarantee you that you're going to connect with one of them. I promise.
You know what's cool too is, and especially at a place like MTSU, is I can feel like they appreciate it. Like, the players are, and there's players all over that are probably like, yeah, I deserve this or whatever. But I feel like the ones here especially really appreciate the work that you and others are doing.
Absolutely. And all the coaches, the kids that recruiting, they're very blue collar, right?
Yeah.
And that fits this community. So I've had an opportunity the last couple of years and before the collective was started, just because I've been around the program, to talk to these kids. I'm telling you, they're awesome. They're awesome kids with great stories, with great visions for their life and things they want to do, once football or basketball is done. And that's where we want to come in and connect some of those dots. They're studying different things while they're going to school here. Now we can connect them with businesses and internships and things during the summer that, man, if they can get a head jump on life, whereas back when I was playing, couldn't really do that.
Yeah.
Now we're setting these kids up for success for life. And that's ultimately what we care about.
Awesome. Jeff, thanks so much for having us out here,
Yeah,
coming on the
appreciate you
show,
guys.
and anything we can do to help, we will.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Jeff Murphy joining us here on the program. Again, Raiders Rising, that is the collective, and doing all we can to help them out and help the Blue Raiders out. Again, we're live in Rockville today at Champions Run Golf Course, having a lot of fun. We'll be able to take a breather, talk for a second.
Yeah.
Josh Berry going to join us, our friend of the show. He's officially a friend of the show now.
Yeah.
Hendersonville's own NASCAR driver. There's a big announcement that's about to go down with the Nashville Super Speedway.
Oh,
so we'll talk
really?
to him coming up
You
at
tell me during
10:30.
the break what it is?
Yeah, I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Like
can
it.
do that.
Thank you.
For sure. Faux show.
Faux show.
Tune in later today on 102.5 The Game as Vandy Baseball takes on Oklahoma. Pregame at 6:45, first pitch at 7. Coverage is also available on the Game Nashville app and at thegamenashville.com. The Atlanta Braves country road trip is coming to town and teaming up with the Nashville Predators and us here at 102.5 The Game. You can join us at BetMGM Sports Lounge in Bridgestone Arena on Wednesday, April 16th for a Braves watch party as they take on the Tampa Bay Rays at noon. There will be free giveaways like hats and T-shirts, plus you could win autographed baseballs and free Braves tickets to a game of your choice. Also, the first 15 people in the door will win a pair of Preds tickets to that night's game. For more details, just visit thegamenashville.com/events. Back here in Rockville, Chase and Big Joe with you, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel on this Thursday. You want to weigh? We haven't had a lot of time to talk today, but want to weigh in on anything we're talking about? 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Let's go to our phone line now, and I believe this is Greg Ruff, our man at Trevecca.
Yes.
Gruff Dog, better known as.
Hey.
Greg, what's up?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Oh, we're doing fantastic.
It's always a good day when you're in Rockville. I got to tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been there a bunch, and it is a fun place to
Get to the point.
the point. Well, hey, I have breaking news. Sorry, I forgot that's this kind of show.
Okay.
I've got breaking news for you. Okay, this has not been released. We're going to put it out later today. I just want y'all to know that I'm going to be the first sports information director broadcaster in the country to have my own NIL deal. And I am receiving later today the official Ned McWhorter Nilla Wafer NIL deal. So I got some for you.
That's why you call it.
Yes, it is.
Nilla Wafers.
You said to call in about Trevecca news, right? Right.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime, buddy.
Always. We love supporting Trevecca.
So today, I think what I'm going to share with you is just today is Giving Day at Trevecca, and a lot of colleges do this. And in athletics, we're trying to raise money for a new athletic facility, and the teams have a lot of different things that they're wanting to do. But one of the things close to my heart is David Dees, who started WNAZ there at Trevecca. And it gave me an opportunity in broadcasting, gave a lot of other people an opportunity in broadcasting. People who are working all over the country now in radio, television, marketing, all that kind of stuff. And we're trying to raise money to help do what he did, which is provide good equipment for current students, to train on the equipment that they will use in the real world. And we've been able to do that. David did that for years with WNAZ. Now we're doing that with our live stream. And so we've got students that have gone on to work with Nashville SC, the Sounds, Vanderbilt, and all over the place in athletics. So that's what we're trying to do, raise money. And we're going to put David's name on our broadcast center when this is all over in the fall.
Well, look at that.
Very
Good for
cool.
you.
Very cool. I'm glad you called in to share that. You know, we always want to help out anytime we can.
Absolutely. And so I'll be looking for y'all's donation a little bit later. I can see who donates in the feed. So
Yeah, you do that. I'm on the website now. See what I can send you right now. Do you take checks from an account that doesn't exist anymore? Because if you do, Chase and I are going to give you a lot of money today.
Absolutely. Do it. We'll take it.
Okay.
You're the best, buddy. Anytime, man.
Thanks, Greg.
All right. Good deal. Hey, y'all have a great day. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Greg Ruff joining us on the program.
Good man.
He is a great man. That is for sure. So glad he could call in and do that. You know, I will say this, as we're 2 weeks from today will be the NFL draft.
Thank the Lord.
It was nice to kind of talk some college football and take a little break from all of that.
Right? It really is.
I did another draft simulation though last night. So this is the ESPN draft simulator that I did this. I traded out.
Okay.
Number one.
Thank you.
Struck a deal with the New York Football Giants.
Nice.
So this is what I got. Swapped one, so moved back to 3. I got their second this year, which is pick 34. I got their third, which is pick 65. And then I got next year's third, and I gave them one of the Titans' 6th from this year.
So that's all right. That's a lot of going on there.
Yeah. But it improved the Titans draft. With the first pick, or with the third pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select Travis Hunter.
Attaboy.
Cornerback or wide receiver.
Love
from
it.
Colorado.
Good for you.
Here's where it got interesting.
Uh-oh.
had back-to-back picks in the second round, right? 34 and 35. When I got to 34, there was a player that was there. And I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. With the 34th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select his teammate, quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. He was still there in the second round.
Man, all right, I'm liking this. Hunter and Shedeur, okay.
Yep. And then pick 35, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. So you got two weapons right there.
I'm
for a
on
young
it.
quarterback.
And maybe Shedeur turns out to be something. I like that.
They don't have a third right now.
Okay.
So getting the third from the Giants, I went with Jordan Birch, who's the edge rusher from Oregon. So you get some help on the defensive side of the
Look
ball.
at you. Now you need
as
to
well.
copy and paste this and send this to Borgonzi and say, look, man, I got something.
2 fourth-round picks.
Okay.
I will say I passed on Scattaboo this time because I wanted to do something different.
Wheeling and dealing.
Pick 103, I go running back, Dylan Sampson from the University of Tennessee.
Okay.
I think he's going to be pretty good in the league.
Okay.
I do.
He's
Good
held
value.
running back.
Good value there. And so they do this stat that will tell you chance of availability at the pick,
Right.
chance of availability at the next pick. According to the ESPN, that I had a 57% chance that Sampson would be available at pick 103, 37% chance that he would be available at 104. So I took him.
Okay.
I just think there was good value there.
I don't mind that. All right.
Pick 120, also in the fourth round, I went Billy Bowman Jr., a safety out of Oklahoma. Kind of went best player available at that point.
Right.
Round 5, went with center guard Jackson Slater from Sacramento State. Addressed that need.
From where?
Sacramento State.
Isn't that where the Cats coach doing radio games?
I think so.
For Sacramento State. All right. That's cool.
67, round 5, Shamir Dyke, wide receiver, Florida. And then round 6, pick 178, a tight end, Jackson Hawes from Georgia Tech.
You like those Dykes. I mean, that's the Dyke guy, right? From Florida. You got him yesterday in the draft, too,
Sure
as well.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm telling you, man, at the end of the day, if you got some SEC players who are in that 5th, 6th round, take them. Like Dykes, take him. Take these guys. I mean,
I don't have a problem. You got to address receiver in, I think, the first 3 rounds. But I don't have a problem getting another one that can maybe be a special teams guy and then see what happens, 4, 5, 6.
No, I'm like, you got to take the pick. You take somebody who they can improve your football team. And look, when they took Bo Scaife, did you think he was going to be anything in the 5th or 6th round? No. David Stewart. I mean, you hit on some guys.
And again, and I didn't like how this draft, worked out. With when I got to the 4th round, the 5th round, that there wasn't as much available from the guard position.
Right.
Because I always hear Floyd in my head saying, I'll get a guard. I'll get him later.
Yeah.
You can get a guard. That's where
right.
you get your guard.
That's right. And by the way, the guy giving announcements, he talks more than David James.
You're just
He just walked in the studio. Come on, Joe.
Hey, Lee. The guy won't be quiet over here. We call him David James.
But David's selective. Like David will,
David.
he'll throw a laugh in or something. Get over.
David James, the producer of DVD, would run through a wall for us. That's
sure
why
was.
we
That's
love him.
why he is one of our favorites.
But I'll keep doing these. These are fun.
Not for you anymore,
well, we can do
Joe.
one right now.
These are fun. Hey, you keep your mouth shut till 11, buddy. So what do you do? Explain the process
all
here.
right. So I pulled it up here. It's ESPNanalytics.com/ it's a draft simulator.
Okay.
I'm selecting the Titans that I'm going to pick for them. You can do the number of rounds you want to do. I did all 7, and then you load in the draft. If you want to make a trade, you can make a trade.
Do you pick the player or you just let it go?
No, I'm picking the player.
Okay.
So do you want to stick at one or trade out?
Let's trade out. Do you get to see who you trade out with?
Yeah, you can.
Dolphins.
You want to trade? So you want to go down
13
to 13.
Dolphins are going to trade up and take Travis Hunter. So the Titans are stuck at 13.
All right. So you pull up the Dolphins. and you have to basically decide the trade. So
Okay.
I'm trading 1. I'm getting 13. I'm getting their first next year, at least. I want 48. I want 98. I want a second next year, and it likes that trade.
Okay.
So would you do that? You're trading 1. You're going to get 13, 48, 98, and then their first and second next year.
Sign me up right now. Heck yeah. That way you're getting what, 5, 6 of the top 125?
Yeah.
Roughly?
So the Dolphins have accepted the trade. You hit start draft.
I like it.
We're at pick 13. Tyler Warren's the best player available.
Take him.
We're taking
Tight end.
Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State. Now it simulates. It goes to 35. You got Walter Nolan, who's the DT from Ole Miss. He's available. Travion Henderson, running back from Ohio State. We don't need a running back there. You got Jaden Higgins and Igbuka from Ohio State, 2 receivers there.
Give me Higgins.
You want Higgins?
Yeah, give me Mrs. Higgins.
We're taking Higgins. All right. All right, pick 48.
Love it.
If we want to address quarterback, Tyler Show at Louisville. Is it Shao? The quarterback
It's
from Louisville.
Shishao.
He's there. There's a tight end. We already got that. TJ Sanders, a defensive tackle. I like the edge rusher from Oregon.
Take it. We've already got one bad Kentucky quarterback. We don't need another one.
Yeah. All right. So we got 2 picks in the second round. Now it's going to take us to pick 98. And we got Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee that's available. Cam Scottaboo, Dylan Sampson, they're available. Gunner, we already got the tight end.
Get Dylan Sampson.
All right, we'll take Sampson.
I like this team already better. So you've got Tyler Warren, you got Wiggins.
Pick 103. Norman Lott still there.
Where's he from?
Tennessee. He's a defensive tackle. I don't think we need a DT.
No.
You got Cam is there. Another receiver's available. Jalen Lane from Virginia Tech. The Quincy Riley, cornerback from Louisville. Gunnar Helm is there. Another tight. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at another tight end. Another receiver.
Needs. Yeah, plug the receiver in there.
All right, we'll take Jalen Lane from Virginia Tech. We're
All
doing
right.
this live right now. This is
This is great.
fantastic. Pick 120. How about Demetrius Knight Jr. from South Carolina, linebacker?
I like it.
All right. We are taking him. Pick 5. We got safeties. We got receivers. How about another edge rusher? You want to do another edge rusher?
We need those.
Tyron Ingram Dawkins from Georgia.
Bring it. Another Georgia guy. Georgia.
All right. 167. Devin Neal, by the way, running back from Kansas, has fallen down the draft board.
Why do you think so? His
don't know.
attitude?
I don't know. We'll get Kuiper on it. So anyway, I know we got to get to Josh Berry, but we'll finish this in the break and let you know our results. We're live today, Rockvale, Tennessee, Champions Run Golf Course. They're getting things started here. Josh Berry going to join us next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here in Rockville, Tennessee on this Thursday. Exciting news just coming out. The Cracker Barrel 400. How does that sound? That makes so much sense.
Oh, that sounds really good.
Coming up June 1st at the Nashville Superspeedway, the new entitlements partner for the NASCAR Cup Series race at the Nashville Superspeedway. To talk more about that, let's bring in a native. He's, Hendersonville's own Josh Berry joining us here on the program. Josh, I just think the Cracker Barrel 400 is perfect. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
I know you're at the event today where they're making this announcement official. We've talked to you obviously before about racing at Nashville Superspeedway, but this is going to be pretty cool when you guys go out there to see a local brand associated with the Nashville Superspeedway.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely is a great fit for the Nashville Superspeedway in the race. And like I said, Cracker Barrel has a huge presence and all over the country, but especially here in Tennessee. So excited to see a Tennessee company on board, and we're looking forward to having a good race weekend here and at the end of May.
When you go to Cracker Barrel, are you more just breakfast anytime, or do you like to change it up?
Yeah, I'm pretty much breakfast anytime. Definitely keep it pretty simple, bacon and eggs. Actually ate there this morning to start off our day here. So it's always a good choice.
Do you there's one right outside of the Daytona International Speedway. Are you one of the guys that the morning of the 500 you go and have breakfast?
No, probably not the morning of the 500. Usually pretty busy doing all kinds of sort of things there on our race mornings, but try to keep it a little light before these races.
Josh, Chase will eat your meal, so don't worry about it when you go to Cracker Barrel. What's it like, Josh? I mean, look, you are one of the great, air quote, overnight sensations in NASCAR. I mean, it took you years to get there, but you never quit. But what's it like having the Nashville Superspeedway, which is a great place, reach out to you to be there today for this critical and, I guess, important moment for the Speedway?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Obviously I grew up in the Middle Tennessee area, been to many races at the Superspeedway, and getting to have things come full circle, and now racing in the NASCAR Cup Series and getting to go race at Nashville is always it's really a lot of fun. So without a doubt, it's one that I have circled on my calendar every year to get to, and it's always fun coming back home. And honestly, more than anything, I really love to be standing in victory lane holding one of those Gibson guitars.
You've raced it. What makes it special? I know how guys talk about all the time with the concrete track out there and everything. What about that Speedway do you just enjoy so much, Josh?
Well, I think it's just coming home, really, right? I think you think back of your years growing up and watching NASCAR races on TV and getting to see that in your home state, your home area. It just makes it a little more special, right? I think that's the biggest thing. And the Superspeedway's put on some really good racing over since their return there. I think it's put on some really good racing. The concrete surface has put on some really good racing in each series. So it's one that we always enjoy coming to.
Josh Berry is on the line with us, driver for the number 21 Wood Brothers Ford, and they'll be out at the Nashville Superspeedway May 30th through June 1st. Cracker Barrel 400 on Sunday, the Cup Series race. So last time we talked to you, you were coming off your first win in the NASCAR Cup Series. I know last week didn't get the finish you wanted, but did you feel like that things were going the right way before you spun out?
Yeah, really. I feel like each race since then we've had really fast race cars. Obviously had an incident on pit road at Homestead that set us back. Martinsville led some laps early and had a mechanical failure issue with the alternator and the battery. And last weekend we were setting up to have another really solid day and unfortunately got in an accident. So the finishes haven't been there, but the performance has. And I think that's the biggest thing we look at this stage, that we're doing the right things week in and week out and bringing really fast race cars. And, once we able to put everything together, the finishes will come.
Do you feel like, though, you're in a stretch now of tracks that obviously you're going to Bristol this weekend? You're a short track guy. I feel like this is a really good race for you. Talladega can be a wild card for anybody, but do you feel like you're entering a point of the schedule where there's some strong tracks that are coming your way?
Yeah, I feel like it. There's a lot of good places coming up where I feel like we're going to have more opportunities to run well, and Bristol's always a fun one to go to, man. I mean, Bristol is iconic. Bristol is Bristol, so it's always fun going there. We know it's going to be a tough race, but I feel like if we just keep doing the things we've been doing and putting fast race cars out on the racetrack, we're going to find ourselves in contention.
Josh, tell me what the next 24 hours is like for you once you leave Lebanon today.
Yeah, I mean, today's obviously pretty busy here in Middle Tennessee, doing what we can to promote the race, and obviously announce the title sponsorship for the National Super Speedway, and doing some different things today with them. I'm actually going back home to North Carolina this evening, and tomorrow's going to be pretty low key, spend the day with the family, and then we're going to head up to Bristol Saturday morning for another busy weekend. So not too terribly much going on after today until we get to Bristol.
Well, good luck at Bristol. We're obviously pulling for you. You are officially a friend of the show now because you've made several appearances with us. So that'll get you nothing, but congratulations on that. But Josh, good luck at Bristol this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Josh Berry, driver of the number 21 for the Wood Brothers, joining us here on the program, and they'll be racing at the Bristol Motor Speedway coming up on Sunday. Always enjoy that. The day race at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and you can hear that on our airwaves. If I could pull my schedule up,
I still want to
I create that you would think I would know, but Sunday at 1 o'clock on Sports Talk 8:30.
I love it. I still want to do donuts in the Volunteer State Bank parking lot with Josh, where he was a bank teller at one time.
that could be fun.
I'd love that.
But again, the Cracker Barrel 400 coming to the Nashville Super Speedway. I know they've worked, Matt and his group, our friend Katie Myers, have worked tremendously hard at all of this, and it just makes so much sense to have Cracker Barrel as the title sponsor of the Cup Series race. And I know Robbie Stanley will be very excited about that, being a Cracker Barrel aficionado.
Yeah, right? With the sweet tea and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the worst part. I'm starving right now.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's go to Cracker Barrel.
I'd love to.
Yeah, we will do that. Get some biscuits for sure. Faux show. Coming up next. We'll tell you what. It's called a crutch. That's what happens. We'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. But right now, text in the keyword Jason, JASON, to 615-737-1025 and receive a link to sign up for a chance to win all-inclusive tickets to the Eurostone Club at Bridgestone Arena to see Jason Aldean, plus also a chance to win $1,000 cash. No, everyone could use that. What day is it? And celebrity birthdays. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jason Big Joe, 102.5, 106 on this Thursday. So I appreciate Josh Berry for joining us. By the way, so we did our little mock draft before.
Yeah.
We traded the pick to Miami. You know what they did at number 1? They took Shedeur Sanders.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Cam Ward went to Cleveland at 2.
That's
So,
very interesting.
the Giants went Travis Hunter, and the Vrabinator went Mason Graham. Who's 6? The Raiders? Jalen Walker. Where did Jacksonville? Jacksonville took Abdul Carter at 5.
Ooh. We terrorizing the AFC South for a while now.
I mean, I like your idea of trading 1 to back to 13 to Miami, but who's their quarterback?
It's going to be, you know what? It's going to be Will Levis. You know, it's going to be Will
scenario.
Levis.
That's probably who it would be.
It's going to be Will Levis in 2025. And he's going to go, they're going to go 11-6 and make the playoffs.
Maybe.
And then he's there forever. And then we're going to have to be eating crow, which is fine. If they do that, good for him, man.
I like your optimism, but I don't believe it. With that, let's get to celebrity birthdays. And what day is it? Brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc. Above and beyond industry standards. Visit them at jarrettcompaniesinc.com.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list, we have American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Day. Always supporting that. Encourage a Young Riders Day. So encourage those young ones. Global Work from Home Day. Wow. I don't wish that, actually. Golfers Day is today, the Masters. That's always a fun stuff there.
It is the Masters.
It is. National Alcohol Screening Day. Man,
I don't drink alcohol through a screen. I'd never do that.
Yeah, that'd be tough. I think it'd be all over your clothes, right?
Yeah, indeed it would.
Yeah. National Cinnamon Croissant Day. Those are delicious.
Ooh,
National Farm Animals Day. Shout out to Skillet. National Hug Your Dog Day is next. So
please let people real quick.
Hang on. So shout out to Skillet, which is your pig that you are going to slaughter and eat.
Yep.
And then the next one is Hug Your Dog Day.
They're different
So
animals.
screw the pigs. Hug the dog.
Have you told Skillet you're going to eat him?
Nah, but he has the idea. You look at him, and it's like not a look of defeat. It's just a look of I'm going to live my best life, and so you just feed him happily. You know what I mean?
Good.
It's a circle of life. That's how life works. Let's see. Poem in your pocket day, safety pin day. Make sure you're safety with those. National Salvation Army Founders Day, and then to wrap it up, we have Siblings Day.
Yeah,
it is National Siblings Day.
Yeah, 2 more. Thank you. It is National Siblings Day. Shout out to the Skillet. Got a brother?
Probably. There's a whole litter of
He's
them.
going to get eaten too.
Yeah, too bad. I hate to be that family reunion. Show up and you're gone.
More like bacon.
Right? All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get these within 2. Our first birthday, one of the great music producers of all time, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. How old is he?
Excuse me. 62.
65. You got to have a reunion at the breakfast table.
67. Oh, my Lord. He was in the movie Office Space, the 7-Up guy, Orlando Jones.
Oh, yeah. 58.
55.
57. Thank you, sir. 57. Tied at 1. David Harbour. He's in Stranger Things. He played a role in that movie. I don't know.
It's a show.
Whatever. For show.
34.
45.
50. Mandy Moore, the singer actress.
Yeah. 42.
40.
41. That's a push. Y'all want to feel old? Haley Joel Osment he was Forrest Gump Jr. He was in The Sixth Sense. How old is Haley Joel Osment?
Okay. I'm going to say 38.
41.
37. He's your age, Chase. Why can't you be as cute as he was?
Wish I knew.
Maren Morris, the singer.
34.
37.
35. Chase is close, 3-1. Steven Seagal.
I'm going to say 65.
Oh, man. 74.
73.
That was good.
3-2 Chaser. Peter McNichol. He was the bad guy in Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was on, when he on Ally McBeal?
He was on Ally McBeal. Good job.
63.
60.
71. She played 2 Booty Trudy on Miami Vice. Olivia Brown. Her brother played for the Houston Oilers for many years.
65.
67.
68. We're tied at 3. Brian Setzer from the Stray Cats.
71.
75.
66. Katrina from Katrina and the Waves.
63.
74.
65. She's walking on Metamucil. 4-2. 4-3. Chase is on top. Rapper Q-Tip.
57.
50.
55. Chaser knows his rappers. 5-3. All right, a few more. One of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, Mel Blount.
71.
77.
77 exactly. With that, we're tied at 5.
By the way,
Ken
Q-Tip
Griffey's
is a clean rapper.
okay.
Cool.
All right. Ken Griffey Sr.
78.
84.
75. Steve Tasker
Steve Tasker.
from the Buffalo Bills.
62.
67.
63. Chase up 6-5. Former Tennessee cornerback J.J. McCleskey. Tennessee Vols, it is.
Quarterback?
Corner.
Cornerback. 41.
38.
55. Down to the last 2. Sean Avery. Hockey player.
The hockey player. Preds fans hate him. 42.
45.
45 exactly. All right, Nick's up 7-6. Our last birthday. Chaser, right down your alley. Casey Kane, NASCAR driver. Nick's up 7-6.
Casey Kane is 43.
44.
Oh, he is 45. Dr. Crane
Wow.
ends up taking it. What a match. He wins 8-6. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Indeed. Thanks to Raiders Rising and the Blue Raiders for having us out here.
Yeah, Derek Mason and Nick Vediato and Jeff Murphy. Hey, as we leave our show every day to our guys out there, we tell you it's beautiful out today, storms later tonight. But look, that's kind of a metaphor for life. If you're going through something, please reach out and talk to somebody. You can dial 988 on your cell phone or text. Somebody's always there to talk to you. Please, before you do anything, talk to someone. We're here for you 24/7. Reach out. We love talking to you guys. Remember, we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll DVD coming up next. 1025, 1063.